Hello guys, in this video we will study a very important concept for IIT JEE Advanced, which is the concept of induced electric field. Till now in electromagnetic induction we have already discussed the various reasons of EMF induction, and one of them was motional EMF of some conductor in magnetic field. The other one was the rotational EMF, which is due to the rotation of coil in magnetic field. Now we also know that the flux induced flux linked with any conductor depends on the magnetic field also. So now we will discuss that why a time variable magnetic field, time dependent magnetic field generates induced EMF. And obviously we know that as flux is dependent on the magnetic field, therefore if that magnetic field is time dependent, then the flux would also be time dependent, and the change in flux would induce the EMF. But in this case the induction of EMF is not the primary process. In fact, it is a secondary process. The primary process we will discuss in this case is induced electric field. So starting that apart from the motional EMF, we know when magnetic field passing through a conductor changes, then also some EMF is being induced in that conductor. We have already discussed it. So whenever the magnetic field existing in some region, either having some matter or in vacuum, changes, then electric field is induced in that region. This is very important, that whenever the magnetic field is being linked with some region. Now region can be conducting, it can be non-conducting, or it can be vacuum. So in any kind of region, if some magnetic field is being associated and that associated magnetic field is changing with time, then in that region, irrespective of the fact that does contain matter or not, in that region some electric field would be induced, and it would be having some properties which are mentioned in the below statements. So first property is that due to this induced electric field, that EMF is also induced in that region, and that EMF is responsible for current flow in that region if it is conducting. Obviously, if we are talking about the current, then current is flow of charge. So charge, if some region contains charge, then that region must be conducting nature, and therefore if this electric field is generated in some conducting region, then it will induce the current in that region. So this induced electric field is also independent of the conducting or non-conducting nature of that region. This statement I have already told you, that irrespective of the fact that this region in which electric field is being induced is conducting region or non-conducting, or it is vacuum, the electric field will be induced if the magnetic field associated in that region is time dependent. So here is some experiment which you can do, that if we have associated some magnetic field in a smaller circle, and there is a coil which contains a galvanometer, then if this magnetic field is being changed by us and it is being varied by us, then we will see that this galvanometer will show some current. And this current is due to the fact that the free electrons which are present in this wire, conducting wire, are being forced to move in opposite direction of the current, and this is due to the induced electric field. So this induced electric field applies some electric force on these free electrons which move in this clockwise sense, and hence this current will flow in the anti-clockwise sense. The direction of this induced current will be discussed in the further statements, and this galvanometer will show the existence of current. So another thing, that this electric field, this induced electric field, is completely different from that which we have already studied in first chapter, which was electrostatic field. So as their name is different, that was electrostatic field and this is induced electric field, there are quite some differences between these two. So as the name suggests, that electrostatic field was due to the static charges which are present in some space, and this field is being, this induced electric field is being induced only due to the time dependent magnetic field. So that electrostatic field, this is a very important difference which I am explaining now, that electrostatic field doesn't forms the closed loop, but this electric field is induced in closed loops, and its field lines forms the closed loops. So this is a very important point. I'll read it out, that unlike the electrostatic field, the field lines of induced electric field is in the closed loop, and hence this electric field is also called as circuital or vortex field. So this vortex and this circuital means something which is being induced in loops. So this is a circuital or a vortex field as it is induced in closed loops. So the other thing which we know, that for the conservative force fields, the work done in closed loop is zero. But as this induced electric field is non-conservative in nature, so the work done by this field in moving a charge in a closed loop is non-zero. So it is very important to note that the integration of this electric field, line integral of this electric field in a closed loop, is non-zero, because it is a non-conservative force. It is very important that this is a non-conservative field. Okay, now, so the three important things which we have noted as differences between electrostatic and induced electric field is, the first one is the fact that in electrostatic field was due to the static charges which are present in some region, and this induced electric field is induced due to the time dependent magnetic field, the first one. The second difference is the fact that electrostatic field does not forms the closed loops, and this induced electric field is induced in closed loops. The third very important difference between these two is the fact that electrostatic field was conservative in nature, and therefore the line integral of electrostatic field in a closed loop was zero. So if we write that integration of this this is electrostatic field, electrostatic, then this line integral will be zero, because electrostatic field is a conservative field and the line integral of any conservative field in a closed loop will be zero. But the line integral of this induced electric field in a closed loop is non-zero. So conclusively we can say that there are two mechanisms of EMF generation in some space or some conductor. The first one, which involves the motion of conductor relative to the magnetic field lines, and that is called as motional EMF. We have already discussed it. And the second one is this is the motional EMF, and the second one involves the generation of induced electric field, which is associated with a time varying magnetic field. And hence we can state the Faraday's law in modified form, that any EMF induced is the vector sum, or is in fact not the vector sum, it is the sum of these two EMFs. And the first one is this V cross B dot L, which is the motional EMF, and the second one is minus C. This is the EMF. This is E2 and this is E1. So actually I am adding these two. This minus sign is already with this E2. So this E2 is minus A dot dB by dt, where A dot dB by dt is d phi by dt. So actually this is minus d phi by dt. Okay, so these are the two reasons of EMF generation in some space or in some conducting region. Now we will discuss the numericals based on this induced electric field for better understanding of the concept. So now we move on the numericals. In this question, there is a circular loop of some radius r, which is 1 meter. So this is a circular loop of radius 1 meter. Now this loop has a magnetic field which is having a magnitude of 6t. You can see that it is 6t, so it is time dependent magnetic field. B is equal to 6t. Now first of all, we have to find out the induced EMF in the coil. So we know that the EMF is minus d phi by dt, but if I am only calculating its magnitude, then it is d phi by dt, and the flux is B into area. So B into A. Now B area is pi r square, which is constant quantity, and this is dB by dt. Now B is equal to 6t. So EMF is equal to pi r square into d by dt of 6t. So E is equal to pi. Now this radius is 1 meter, so this is 1, and d by dt of 6t is 6. So this is 6 pi volts. This is the EMF induced in this coil. Now electric field we have to find out, and we have to find out its direction. So we know that this magnetic field is pointing in the downward direction inside the loop, and this magnetic field is increasing with time, you can see. So this induced electric field has a nature to oppose the change in the magnetic field, and if this change is increasing nature, then it will oppose its nature, and hence to oppose this magnetic field, the electric field will be induced in such a way such that the current flows and current generates its magnetic field in opposite direction. Now we know that if this current is generated in anti-clockwise sense, then its magnetic field would be in the dot direction outside the plane. This is the magnetic field which is induced due to this induced current, and hence this induced magnetic field will oppose the original magnetic field. So the current would be in anti-clockwise sense. And you should always remember that the electric field and the current are always in the same sense, because that electric field moves the positive charge in the same direction of the current, and the electric field applies the force on positive charge in the direction of field itself. So conclusively, electric field and induced current are always in the same direction. So we can say that the electric field, induced electric field, would be in the same direction as that of the induced current. So this would be induced electric field, but it would be in tangential form, or we can say that it would be in circular form. It is also very important that many students have a doubt. Let me explain that doubt first. That if this magnetic field is not circular, is in not a circular region, and it is like that, and it is time dependent or time varying, then in which loop the electric field will be induced. So we cannot calculate the position of those loops, or we cannot say that what is the probability or what is the radius of that loop. We can only just predict that the electric field can be induced in any of these loops, and these loops should lie inside this magnetic field. But we cannot say that these loop would be concentric or not, or what would be their radius. We cannot predict that thing. And these loop can like this also, but this cannot be a loop which is this one, because this loop does not have any magnetic field associated with it. So this is not the probability, but we cannot predict the radius of these loops, or we cannot say that this would be the correct loop or this would be correct loop. There can be many loops which are generated, and electric field can be induced in any of those loops. So coming back to the original question, now this electric field E, we know that E dot dl integration is equal to EMF or minus d phi by dt. So we have already calculated EMF, which is 6 pi. So this is E dot dl, or now this electric field and dl vector is always in the same direction, because dl vector is a small element which is tangential to the loop of electric field, and this dl vector is always pointing in the direction of electric field. So we can consider cos theta as 0 degree. In fact, theta as 0 degree. Now the limit of this dl vector should be the limit of the loop of electric field, length of the loop of the electric field. So this loop has a length of 2 pi r. So we can apply the limit as 2 pi r, and that is equal to minus 6 pi. Now this minus, again it signifies only the direction of the electric field and its nature, that it always opposes the change in magnetic field. So if we will skip this minus sign, then we can easily calculate the magnitude of electric field. So this is E into 2 pi, and the radius of this loop is 1. So it is equal to minus 6 pi, and therefore E is equal to minus 3 Newton per Coulomb. So the magnitude of electric field can be written as positive, and it doesn't matter that whether we use this negative sign or not. Now we have to also find out the current induced. So current is also equal to EMF upon resistance, and if EMF is 6 pi and this resistance is 1, so this current would be 6 pi amperes. Okay, now let's move on the next question. In this question, there is a copper wire of some cross-sectional radius small r, and this wire has a resistivity of rho and its density is del. Now this wire is molded in form of a loop, circular loop of radius capital R, and we have associated some time dependent magnetic field in that wire, in that loop which is formed of that wire, and this magnetic field is being changing according to the rate dB by dt. So we have to prove that the current which is induced in this loop due to this time dependent magnetic field will be this one, and these all are the variables which are given in the question itself. Now we know that the current I is equal to E by R, where E is the EMF and R is the resistance. So EMF is d phi by dt, and phi is equal to B into A. Now a magnetic field is given as B, and area of this loop is pi r square. So this is B into pi capital R square. Okay, so this d phi by dt, which is the EMF, is equal to pi capital R square into dB by dt. And this current is equal to d phi by dt upon R. So this is pi R square dB by dt divided by R, which is the resistance. Now this resistance is equal to rho L by A, where rho is the resistivity, L is the length of the wire, and A is the area of cross section. So rho is given as rho, and the length of this wire is 2 pi R. You can see that the length of this wire will be the circumference of this loop. So this is 2 pi R upon the cross section area is pi small r square. So this resistance R will be equal to 2R into rho divided by R square. Okay. Now this current I is pi R square into dB by dt divided by this 2R rho upon R square. Okay. So this wire, now this we will cancel out this R with R. So I is equal to pi R into R square divided by 2 rho into dB by dt. Now we know that density is equal to mass upon volume, and volume is area of cross section into length, and length is 2 pi capital R. So this pi small r square is equal to m upon, this is del in fact, this is del into 2 pi capital R. Now I will replace this value with the pi r square, which is written in this current equation. So I is equal to, I will be equal to pi r square into R into dB by dt upon 2 rho. Now I will put the value of pi r square. Now this pi r square is equal to m upon del into 2 pi r. So this is m upon del into 2 pi r into dB by dt divided by 2 rho. So we can cancel out this r, and I is equal to m upon 4 pi del rho into dB by dt. So this was the expression which we have to prove in the question. So this is the answer.